What if I told you that India, the land of ancient spirituality, one of the oldest civilizations on Earth, has a secret role in God's divine plan, one that has been hidden in plain sight for thousands of years? Yes, India, with its diverse tapestry of religions and deep spiritual traditions, is not only connected to the Bible, but its future may also be tied to the fulfillment of prophecy. Stay with me because what we uncover today may completely reshape your understanding of biblical history, the spread of Christianity, and how India fits into the grand narrative of end times. Prophecy. India, while not explicitly named in the Bible, has roots that reach back to the ancient scriptures, woven into the fabric of biblical history. Through its people, its culture, and its unexpected yet profound connection to the gospel. You might be thinking, how can India be in the Bible if it's never mentioned by name? But we need to remember that the India in the Bible often speaks in broader terms. Many ancient nations mentioned in the Bible, such as the descendants of Noah's sons, are not limited to the regions we commonly associate with the Middle East. India's connection to the Bible likely begins with the descendants of Noah after the flood. The Bible gives us a genealogy known as the Table of Nations in Genesis 10, detailing how the earth was repopulated after the flood. One of Noah's sons, Jath, is said to be the ancestor of many Gentile nations, particularly those spreading across Europe and Asia. Some biblical scholars link the descendants of Japhi, especially through his son Javan, to the Indo-European peoples, which includes those who would later inhabit India. This connection places India within the biblical framework right from the beginning as part of the dispersion of nations. After the flood, India's the Apostle Thomas, ancient civilization known for its advanced culture, spirituality, and trade, may have been indirectly involved in the early biblical world through trade routes mentioned in the Bible, such as Solomon's legendary wealth, possibly connected to spices, gems, and gold that originated from India. 1 Kings 10:22. Now, let's fast forward to one of the most intriguing aspects of India's biblical connection, the story of the Apostle Thomas. Thomas, one of Jesus' 12 apostles, famously known for doubting the resurrection, until he touched Christ's wounds, embarked on a bold journey. After Jesus' ascension, reaching as far as the Indian subcontinent. According to Christian tradition, Thomas arrived in India around AD 52, landing on the shores of Kerala in the south. This wasn't just an ordinary missionary journey. Thomas wasn't spreading the gospel to neighboring lands, but crossed oceans, reaching a land deeply entrenched in ancient spiritual practices like Hinduism, Jism, and Buddhism. The Apostle Thomas is credited with establishing some of the earliest Christian communities in India, particularly the Maroma Christians of Kerala, who claimed direct descent from his missionary work. This means India was one of the first countries to hear the good news of Jesus Christ, long before many parts of Europe even embraced the faith. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Did Thomas's journey to India fulfill an unspoken part of Jesus' Great Commission to take the gospel to the ends of the earth? When Jesus gave his disciples that command in Matthew 28:19-20, India was seen as the edge of the known world, a mysterious, distant land rich in knowledge, and Jesus in India, spirituality. By reaching India, Thomas may have symbolically fulfilled the mission to spread the gospel far beyond the borders of Israel and Rome. But what if I told you that some traditions suggest Jesus himself may have visited India? While this idea is debated, it finds roots in apocryphal texts and Eastern traditions, the so-called lost years of Jesus. Those years not detailed in the New Testament are said by some sources to include travels to the East, particularly India, where he learned spiritual wisdom before beginning his public ministry. While this narrative is not part of canonical scripture, it has persisted in Christian and Indian tradition for centuries. Could it be that India, a land known for its spirituality and deep philosophical wisdom, played a mysterious role in shaping the understanding of divine teachings? Perhaps it is not mere coincidence that one of Jesus' closest disciples, Thomas, brought the message of Christ to this very land. India, with its profound religious history, has been a spiritual battleground for millennia. Even today, it is home to Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Sikhism, and Christianity, among others. But India's place in biblical prophecy is often overlooked. Some theologians and scholars believe that India's spiritual diversity positions it as a key player in the ultimate fulfillment of the Great Commission, the spread of the gospel to every corner of the earth before the end comes. Matthew 24:14 in Revelation 79. We are told of a great multitude from every nation, tribe, people, and language standing before the throne of God. Imagine India, a nation with over 2,000 distinct people groups and hundreds of languages represented in this vision. Could India's incredible diversity and vast population mean that it will be one of the final harvest fields? Before the end times, India's religious landscape, though diverse, has historically resisted the widespread embrace of Christianity. Yet, in the face of opposition, the Christian faith has not only survived, but thrived in certain regions. The Maroma Christians and the explosive growth of Christianity in northeastern India testify to this resilience. While Thomas sowed the first seeds of Christianity in India, it wasn't until the age of European colonialism that Christianity spread more widely. The Portuguese arrived in the 16th century, followed by Dutch and British missionaries, while colonialism had a complex and often negative impact on India's people and culture. It also brought the gospel to many who had never heard it. Before the British missionary movement, led by figures like William Cry, established schools, translated the Bible into Indian languages, and spread the message of Christ across the subcontinent. Yet, India remained a land where Christianity coexisted with other powerful religious traditions, like Hinduism, Islam, and Sikhism. But the question remains, could India play a pivotal role in the end times conclusion? While biblical prophecy does not explicitly name India, its spiritual significance and growing global influence suggests that it could be central to future world events. In fact, India is home to one of the largest populations of unreached people groups, making it a critical mission field. India's spiritual diversity makes it a land of intense spiritual warfare. The Bible often speaks of nations being judged based on their response to God's truth, and India, as a nation that has long embraced a multitude of gods, may stand at a crossroads. Will it rise as a nation that embraces the gospel, or will it continue to resist, as it has for centuries? In the book of Revelation, the final judgment will see people from every tribe, tongue, and nation either standing with Christ or against him. India, with its billion-plus people, will surely play a part in this final reckoning. India, a land rich in history and spiritual traditions, stands as both an ancient mystery and a future key in God's prophetic plan, from its deep-rooted connections in biblical history to its role as one of the earliest receivers of the gospel. India is woven into the fabric of God's redemptive story as we move closer to the fulfillment of the Great Commission, and the end times. The role of India may become more evident. The spiritual battles that rage across this nation are not just cultural or political, they are part of a much large divine plan. Could India, the land of many gods, one day turn to the one true God? Could it be a pivotal player in the final harvest of souls before the return of Christ? As we look to the future, one thing is clear: God has a plan for every nation, and India is no exception. The time to watch, pray, and engage with India's place in prophecy is now. Stay tuned to Deep Bible Stories for more insights into how modern nations are playing their roles in God's ultimate plan.